We're going to talk about osteoarthritis, something that affects millions of people around the world, and of course mainly affects the knee and the hip. Can affect all joints, but particularly osteoarthritis will affect these joints because of course they're weight bearing. So if we do lots of activity or we maybe have an injury to them, then the process of arthritis takes place. It's a very, very common thing, of course, and I've got two key exercises that I tend to give people which often make a massive difference. Now it does depend a little bit on the degree of the degeneration that has taken place. Severe cases of arthritis in the knee don't always respond to exercises, and sometimes the only option is to have a knee replacement. But quite a lot of the time, even with severe pain, it does tend to respond to some simple exercises. And I'll explain why in a second, why exercises can make a difference. But it's worth a try, isn't it? Rather than avoiding an operation or putting it off for a considerable amount of time, you can really improve your situation potentially by doing a couple of simple exercises. Now, one of the things about pain is that the degree of degeneration in the knee joint, in the surfaces of the knee, does not necessarily correspond with the severity of the pain you're in. So basically I'm saying that the degree of pain that you're in is not necessarily an indication that you've got severe arthritis. So let's talk about knee joints first of all and talk about exactly what happens with knee arthritis. We've got a knee joint. If I come a little bit closer, we open the knee joint out, we can see some cartilage on the inside. These are two C-shaped circles of cartilage. Now that is normally a nice smooth surface, a nice ebony smooth surface for your knee joint to bend and straighten on. Now what can happen over time is degeneration takes place and those surfaces become roughened. Little parts just wear away, or there are little bits that can break off. Essentially it's a roughened surface rather than a smooth surface. So of course when you move your knee forwards and backwards over that and there's a gliding that takes place across it, irritation can take place and that's painful. But what also happens at the same time in the process of this degeneration is irritation around the knee causes stiffness to develop and weakness around the muscles because of the pain. Pain inhibits muscle function. Therefore, if you have lots of pain, it can switch your muscles off in your leg, which actually means the process of getting weaker and weaker and stiffer takes place. However, the stronger you are in your muscle, the more it unloads the knee joint surfaces and supports the knee. Therefore, we can actually if we can increase that without putting too much strain through the knee, we can actually increase the stability, we can increase the support that the knee gives. So, a couple of simple exercises. The important thing about them, of course, they are non-weight bearing. The more load we put down through it, if it's in an irritated state, then we get more irritation. So we start off in the unloaded position. So here we are on the physio couch. We're lying down, so we're in an unloaded position. What we're going to do is literally just do a straight leg lift, so assuming that it's a right knee that's a problem. Straight leg lift up and down 10 times, like so. So we're not lifting up really high, we're just lifting it up a short distance, nice and slow, and what we're not doing is bashing it down without control. We're keeping it nice and controlled up and down through the range. Now that's going to strengthen our quad without putting that force through the knee joint itself. The other thing we're going to do is bend and straighten the knee 10 times as far as we can through the range of movement. And even if these are a little bit uncomfortable, particularly this one because we're taking it through a range of movement, that's okay, providing it doesn't get significantly worse. And in fact, often it loosens up as we do it. And what we're going to do is 3 sets. So we do 10 lifts up and down, and then we do 10 bends up and down. And then we do 10 lifts up and down, and then we do 10 bends up and down, and then we do 10 lifts up and down, and then we do 10 bends up and down. So that is our regime of exercises. And it is amazing that doing these 3 times a day for a few weeks can make a huge difference to people with osteoarthritic knees. It shouldn't increase significantly in terms of pain, and what you often find is that things really reduce in terms of severity, and then you can progress to more advanced exercises, which we'll do in another video. So there we go, there is a value bomb there for you. If you do these exercises, give them a go. They shouldn't be painful, and they should actually improve the situation, and in loads of cases in my clinics it really does work. 2 simple exercises, boom, off you go.